Hey guys, so today we're going to utilize some of those herbs that we spoke of yesterday, or sorry, for me it was yesterday, for you it will be in a week, and we're going to make incenses and oils and things like that, and that's what I'm going to do. So this will be my Yule rituals pieces video, because I'm going to do like a whole bunch of videos, maybe 2 a week, but I'm going to ornaments in one, ritual items in another, baking in another, rather than doing like I've done before and try to get every day in. So today we're going to make our incense with some of those herbs, like I said, that we talked about. So you're going to need a jar. I'm going to use this one. I got this one, I don't even know where, a long time ago. I think I actually found these at Value Village here in my town. So you'll need that. This one came with a cork lid. You can do whatever kind of lid. It kind of got stuck in there a little bit, but we'll do what we want. Now this one is, it's my burnable one. So when I put that in quotes, what I mean is it's the one that I use, not to spray, but like I'll put it in water on a hot surface, and I'll show you how I do that in another video. So you'll need, this here, because I kind of go with what I feel like and what I have on hand and things like that. So this here, mine is going to be the peels, the orange peels that you saw in the last video, the cinnamon sticks. I found my cinnamon powder. It was at my parents' place, so maybe that's where I've left some of my herbs and things like that. Sorry about the buzzing, that's my phone. Bay leaves and allspice, and I usually put cloves in here too, but like I've said earlier, I can't find my cloves for the life of me, so for right now, that's going to have to be how it is. If I'm going to need them in a future video, I'm probably going to have to buy more because I can't find them. But for now, we're going to take the jar. Now, this is usually a hot surface, but I'm just going to use it to not turn it on and just kind of leave it up here. So, the first things I do is I'll take the cinnamon stick, and I'm just going to take one because this is a kind of a small jar. And I'm going to crunch it out into the jar itself. I like to keep most of these pieces as whole as I can, because they'll go in water and then the water will heat up and the pieces will start to smell good. So I'm going to try to keep them in as much of a wholeness as I can, but I'm just going to break this down as much as I possibly can, if I can, because it won't fit in here, obviously. So just gonna try to break it if I can. Let's see if I can find a better piece there. Maybe I can break. Okay, there, I got that one. So just, I'm actually going to put that away because I don't think it needs that much, because I only need a couple of cloves. Or, sorry, cinnamon sticks. Pardon me. Talking about cloves earlier. Okay. And then that's it for the cinnamon sticks. And then I'm going to put in the bay leaf. Now, if you can find small ones, and just kind of half them and put them in. And this 1, 2, and 3, usually I do. Put that in there. And then the allspice. Now I'm going to do 3, 2, 3, and 3. And 3, 2, and 3. And now, like I said, you won't see me do often the anise pieces because I don't really like the smell of the licorice. The odd time I'll do it, depending on the decoration and things like that. You'll see them used a couple of times, but that's about it. So then 1 spoonful for this size of the orange peel. And just put that all in together, and then put it off to the side. And there is your incense. So I just like to keep that to the side in an area that's specifically designated for my Yule stuff, so I don't lose it, because I am notorious for losing things, as you well know, as you see, often here. So I'm just going to put that in this little basket, and that will be my designated Yule basket. And on to the next. Hi guys, you're at another weird angle, but you can see this way, so we're gonna do it this way. This is another Yule thing that I do, so I'm making mine. I do it a couple different ways, depending on how I'm feeling like, usually. So this time, I'm gonna do it with all powdered ingredients. Sometimes I use like sticks and holes and stuff like that. Depends on the day. Right now we're just going to make the basis, and this is my Yule coffee. This is the one that I usually like to have. So you can take your coffee any type you want, and of course you're going to need a jar. I use this vanilla coffee creamer, but I also use the liquid stuff as well when I'm actually making my coffee. So I'm going to do the dry ingredients, and then I'm going to show you how I make my coffee, not today, but another day. So I'm just going to fill my jar, which I think I'm going to use of the coffee. And there's only 2 of us in this house, and I think I'm the only one that'll drink this, so I didn't make very much. This is for Yule Day. This is what I do for Yule Day. And then I'm going to take the ground cinnamon. And like I said, sometimes I use ground, sometimes I use sticks. This time I'm going to use both. But right now we're just putting the dry ingredients in. Now this is all my food grade stuff. This is none of my witchy, unclear cinnamon, which is why I don't have cinnamon sticks right on me. But I want a tablespoon of cinnamon for this amount. Now if you're doing more, obviously you're going to want more. Your nutmeg, which you don't need very much of. This one I haven't even opened yet, so I said earlier I could not find my nutmeg. I wasn't lying. I can't find. I've got the actual nutmeg balls that I prefer to use in my thing, and you don't need very much of this. Like, I'm probably going to do half of what's there. Just a little pinch of the nutmeg. And sometimes I do the coffee, sometimes I do the tea. Like I have a tea. This year I'm going to do the coffee, sorry. Okay. So this is now going to... Okay, so that's not going to be what we're going to do. This one, unfortunately, is expired, so I'm just going to toss that in the garbage there so I don't, not too far off, but more than I would like. So I'll just compensate that by just putting more of the coffee creamer in, and then I'm just going to mix it all about. Now, if I wanted to make this into a mocha instead, I would fill the rest of this half with hot chocolate powder, and that would do it, and then you just put it in your coffee maker. And I'll show you on Yule how I do that, but at the moment, that's all we have. I'm going to pop it in the jar, and then I'm going to pop it with my ritual stuff, because this in itself is a ritual. I'm probably going to make it a mocha, but for now, we'll just leave the coffee stuff, and I can leave that option to myself when we get there. But that's the beginning of it. It smells good. And that's my Yule coffee, and I'll show you how I make that later. Recipe, keep crafting, witches. Okay, so now we're on to the anointing oil that I anoint my candles in. I don't need very much. It is just me. I am a solitary practitioner. If you are not a solitary practitioner, or you do have a larger space to work in, I don't. You're going to need, so this is for my candles and anything on my altar, but usually with candles. So if you have more candles around that you're willing to anoint, and you want a bigger bottle, you're more than welcome to use a bigger bottle, but I don't need the larger bottle. So for this one, I wanted a muskier kind of smell to it. So again, we're going to use the cinnamon, because that's my favorite, the allspice berries, the rosemary essential oil, the cedar essential oil, and the frankincense essential oil for my anointing oil here. So I am going to start with, I can see a little bottom piece here. I think I want that. So we're just going to try to grab a small piece and then put them as eloquently as we can back in the container. There we are. Put those to the side. So now I have the cedar, or I wish I had cedar, because I'm sorry, I put the shaky camera. Anyway, I wish I had cedar. I don't on hand. That's going to be a vlog. But for now, we're just going to put the cinnamon in the container. And 3 by 3 the allspice berries. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, and 3. And that's all for the actual cinnamon. And if you don't like or can't have the cinnamon aspect of it and you prefer the essential oils, stick with the essential oils. It's all up to you. I'm not telling you how exactly to do this, just the way that I do it. So it's all up to you. If you change, you can add star anise, you can add any of what floats your boat in the long list that I had. These are speaking to me now, so that's what I'm going to do. So then I'm going to use my little funnel. I found 2 more, by the way, so I've got a slew of these to work with. So then I'm going to take the rosemary essential oil, and I'm going to do 3 drops. Oop, maybe 4. And another 3 drops. And another 3 drops. I guess that will be it. And I have learned the hard way to use the funnel. So, just saying, if you're like me and like the smaller bottles, the funnel is the way to go. Even if you like the larger bottles, maybe use the funnel just in case you have drippage anywhere else. Okay, Next, I'm going to use the cedar. If I can get it open. And I don't like this one so much, but I like the properties, so I'm just going to put 3. Ooh. It also likes to really go there. And then the frankincense. Again, if I can get this one open. I don't think I ever can get this one open. And if not, if something doesn't work, try again. I've got the yep, that won't work. So we're just going to use 3 of the frankincense tears. So I'm just going to move that to the side there, and I'm going to put 3 frankincense tears in of a moderate size. 1, 2, and 3. Just to compensate for the fact that I can't open the frankincense. I'll try to get my other half to do that, see if he can do it. And then you're going to pop the funnel back in. See why I like having the funnel and doing all the funnel stuff at once. But anyway, that didn't happen this time. So then we're just going to fill up your bottle. I'm going to do this lefty. Fill up your bottle to cover the ingredients, or to the point where you think, but I tend to just there. And there I have my anointing oil for my candles. So just let that sit there. And just let that all absorb into each other. There. And I'll put that in the same container that I have my dry incense ready to go. On to the next. Okay, so for the last thing, you've seen me do this before, a couple of times. I like to take my little tea lights, and trust me, I've got a lot of them, and I like to make them into some of my ritual candles, and then I like to anoint my other candles in the oil that I've made, and herbs. So I'm going to take, for this time around, I'm going to take the peppermint, and I'm going to take a couple of these orange peels. It is late night and I've got to get to work after this, but anyway. So again, the 2 chopsticks on top, but the 2 on here. And last time I did this, I did make a bit of a mess because these all knocked over, so let's hope that doesn't happen this time around. So I'm going to take the larger orange peels. I almost called them onion peels again. Okay, and I'm going to take my trusty dusty spoon over here, and I'm going to take just a few, and I'm going to put them on one side and the other. We are. I'm going to do that in both candles. I like to have always 2 ritual candles on hand. Oops. And just and then I will put in the peppermint, and I'm just going to do 2. I'm going to keep them simple this time around. Just going to need a little bit, and then I'm going to make a mess per usual. And then I'm just going to turn my heating element off, and then leave them like that until they harden and become candles. And I'll be right back. Okay, so those have hardened. Now, be careful how much you actually put of your herb or in, because they do overflow a little bit. I just had that happen. No, I gotta undo chopsticks that have sat everywhere. Hold on. Just give me one. So, And those are your tea lights. Now, like I said, be careful how full you make them, because they could spill over a teeny tiny bit into your pan, but that's an easy cleanup. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Blessed be, and keep crafting, witches. So another thing I do to start for my rituals, you've seen the, the usual oils and things like that. I do also have a shower usually before my rituals. Now, I usually used to be a bath, but I do not live in a place with a bath anymore, so I've had to adjust, I've had to adapt. So we're doing little sachets for the shower. Now you can adapt these to the bath quite easily. I mean, they're just little sachets. So what you'll need for this project is, I use 2 organza bags just to keep the smaller pieces in it. Now, I don't have a lot of smaller pieces for this one, but just to double check, just to have a doubly. I have a little container just to do it over, just in case anything falls out. I use, well, obviously you'll need Epsom salt. I will be using lavender, bay leaf, rosemary, and cinnamon for this. And now I'm going to have to break another cinnamon stick in half, so you'll watch me struggle a tiny bit, but that will be fine. We'll do that. So what you're going to do is, oh, and you'll need maybe a spoon or something. I have this one. My grandfather and grandmother bought me this set when I was really young. I think the actual jar, it looks similar to this, but it either went missing or it broke or something like that, and I can't find it. I'm really upset about it. So that. So first I'm going to put my Epsom salts in. I can't even see what I'm doing. So first I'm going to put my Epsom salts in. And mine like to stick, so I have my handy dandy tool here. Just going to break it up, and then I'm going to put it, again, you can't see what I'm doing, in the bag. I do about halfway up. But it depends on what all you're deciding to put in here. But for me, it's about halfway up the bag. Like that. And then I'm just going to stick it, because then I can stand it sort of up, and this can be a little bit of an easier process for me. I'm then going to put some shakes of lavender into it. Three shakes. And then a bay leaf. Or 2. Break that up and just put that in there. Then I'm going to put in the cinnamon sticks. Now you might want to use cinnamon powder, it is all up to you. I just have the sticks on hand, so that is what I am using. And, oh, hey look, a piece that I probably break. / already have probably broken. And then I just break it up a little bit more to get all the pieces in the bag. And if you have a bigger bag, you don't have to break up the pieces so much. And if that's what you prefer, that's good too. And then a scoop of rosemary here. And in the bag there. And that is what I'm using for my ritual bath. Now it'll be a shower, like I said, but I take my time. I have a way that I put this in order to get it to stay. Now I'm going to be a little bit cautious. I'm going to tie this off. And then I'm going to put it in the red bag. Now I'm sticking with Yule colors, so that the magic keeps going in all of these things, each thing related to the other. So I just put that there, put them in the other bag, and then I'm just going to tie this bag off, and I do that in a specific way, but in 3 knots. So 1 in the front here, and then turn around the back. I do another knot in the back there, and then I do 1 in the front again. Now you may not be able to do 3 knots. My fingers are nice and tiny, so they're able to do the knots, but that is what it looks like. It still slightly comes out. You still get some of the shake off, but not as much, and I will put that in my shower, and that'll be used in my Yule rituals. That's all I have for you today. Blessed be, and keep crafting, witches.